Yeah.
It's not a dash, it's a dash. Oh, that's not dash.
Good evening. I'm going to call the public session to order at 7:01. If we could all rise. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if we could all take a moment of silence in remembrance of the state police officer that was lost its life earlier this month, Sergeant Mole. Thank you. We'll then move into discussion, possible action on matters emanating from executive session, which there are none.
I got one, if you don't mind. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would just like to thank Ms. Deanna Chuka for her years of service to the Naugatuck Public Schools. Mrs. Chuka was recently appointed as the principal of Park City Magnet School in Bridgeport. She will be transitioning in we haven't figured out the timeline yet, just hearing the news. But Mrs. Chuka has worked for the Naugatuck Public Schools for 14 years, about 10 of which have been in the role of assistant principal at City Hill Middle School. She's been a tremendous asset to her students, to faculty, and to parents, and she will be missed greatly. She's certainly ready for this next chapter in her career, and we wish her nothing but the best. Thank you.
Thank you, absolutely, and congratulations, Mrs. Chuka. We'll then move into approval of the minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Marilyn and a second by Dorothy. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions?
I abstain.
That motion passes with Mayor Hess abstaining. We'll then move into public comment. And as always, I will read our policy regarding public comment. Any individual recognized by the board chair to speak shall give his or her name, address, the group, if any, that is being represented and the subject to be discussed. The presentation should be as brief as possible. Unless an extension of time is granted by the chair, the speaker shall be limited to 5 minutes. The board will not permit in public session any expression of personal complaint about school personnel nor against any person connected with the school system, including students. Persons with personal complaints regarding personnel should speak with the superintendent of schools as a means of bringing concerns for consideration and disposition. Speakers will not be permitted to participate in gossip, make defamatory comments, or use abusive or vulgar language. Speakers will be advised that comments must be limited to items which directly relate to the school district. The chair of the board will maintain the prerogative to discontinue any presentation which violates any of the public participation guidelines. With that said, if anyone would like to offer public comment, please step to the podium and provide your name and address for the record.
Good evening. For the record, I am Aaron McCool, 51 Brook Street, Naugatuck, Connecticut, 06770. I'm going to start by saying I'm very disappointed in all of you. So many parents, including myself, have come out to speak and emailed you. And there's been no roll call vote on mandatory masking by the Board of Ed. Yet the forced child abuse and masking continues, and the superintendent just passes the buck to the governor. But I'm going to pin that today and move on because there's so many important topics to discuss with you. Naugatuck doesn't hit a single state goal for education, not one. Not reading, math, science, attendance, graduation rate, or college readiness, just to name a few. I believe this is in large part due to how much time and energy this district puts